Oh, we're live. We're live. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry I messed up the live and I'm late. I'm Dana Dubois
I'm
and
Lawrence Winterman. This is the Daily Whatever Show. And we've got a
okay.
treat today because we are going to be talking to Melissa Corrigan, who is live in Washington, D.C. for the Constitution Day protests and the veterans protests that are happening.
I'm so excited. I saw she did a mini live about 30 minutes ago. And I hope my borking out the scheduling didn't mess anything up for her or anyone else. Lawrence, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
I'm off to a start, I guess. But we do have some good news to share at the top of the hour. Oh, good. There's Melissa.
Yay.
Uh,
Hi, Melissa.
sorry I borked the scheduling there, Melissa, but we're here now. We're great. Lawrence, what happened yesterday?
We hit 100 paid subscribers. What?
A
Oh, my
million,
God.
you guys, a million zillion thank yous.
Yes.
That was like the biggest thrill to see. Um, we're now on the new bestsellers list. We were at 55 yesterday. We're still there.
Yeah. We're still
Can't
at
wait
55. Yeah.
I know. I hope we're still there today. Maybe we'll even get like a higher number, Lawrence.
Right. Because we're greedy.
One can dare to
55
dream.
isn't good enough. We want to be number one now. We made it to 100. Now we want to be. Yeah. No,
No,
we're just super grateful to
we
even
are.
be on the list, and huge thanks to everyone who has subscribed. It's been a wild ride and it's been super fun, and it has forced us to grow, I think, because we set an ambitious goal for ourselves and we did it. And that's very satisfying feeling. Um, but the gift that we didn't know that we would get is that we ended up forming a community with all of you. And honestly, it's been just kind of one of the best things I've ever done in my life. So thanks for being here,
Lord,
everybody.
same. And getting to do it with my very best friend in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
That's just
All
been
the feels.
amazing. It's just been amazing. So thanks to all of you. The pledge drive goes on. If you have not,
But only till the end of the week. I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like every time you say that, people are like, "Oh my God, it's never going to end."
Oh,
Only till
true.
the end of the week.
Till the end of summer. I mean, it's the summer pledge drive. We're being
Right.
literalists. The 21st night of September, summer ends as Earth, Wind, and Fire intended. And so
Yeah.
that is when our pledge drive ends. And we are having a big party to celebrate that. We're doing a 4-hour live, 4 hours of the Daily Whatever Show, us yabbering. We have so many guests joining us, Lawrence.
Yeah.
I
It's
think our
awesome.
schedule is nearly full. I'm thrilled. We'll announce all the names. We'll fill it with all sorts of merriment. I'm sure we're going to play September by Earth, Wind, and Fire a number of times. Hopefully they don't sue us. I feel like it's common use by
Yeah. Yeah.
now.
No, for sure. I
On
mean,
the, on the
if on the
21st.
21st day of September we're playing that song, I feel like we've got a pretty solid court case on, like, hey, man, they made us.
It's like happy birthday to you. Like you can't sue for that. It's just a song to celebrate a day.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeedy.
There
Um,
you go.
hey, I don't know if people know this, but friend of the show, Julie Roginski, uh, is in collaboration with her Substack, frequent collaborator Olga Lautman. They're putting on a series that starts this afternoon at 3 p.m. It's for 6 weeks,
Oh,
and it is on information warfare and pushing back against misinformation and disinformation. Um, you have to be a paid subscriber to either Olga or Julie, and if you want to
mhm.
do it, you have to become a paid subscriber and then go to the paid only link to sign up for the series by 1 p.m. today. You have to sign up by 1 p.m. today to get an invite for the 3 p.m. meeting.
That's
I'm
Eastern
signed
time?
up 3 p.m. Eastern. All of these, yeah, all Eastern time.
Okay.
So sign up by 1 p.m. Eastern for the class that starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm signed up. I'm super, super excited about it. plus like becoming a paid subscriber to Julie is like the easiest no-brainer in the entire world.
Yeah.
So yeah, if people want to do that, it would be super fun to have I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to talk to one another in the class. I don't know that it's going to be active chat, but yeah, do that.
That's amazing. A lot of folks joined while you were talking, Lawrence. Can you repeat the name of the class and who's teaching it?
Yeah.
Just
So the class is being taught by Julie Roginski and Olga Lautman. They often collaborate. They do a show called Pax Americana. Um, they were the ones who kind of broke the news about the drones, Russian drones invading Polish airspace. And
amazing.
yeah, and so they're teaching this class on basically information warfare, disinformation, misinformation, how to combat it. And it starts today at 3 p.m. Eastern. And to get into the class, you have to become a paid subscriber to either Olga or Julie, and you have to register. There's a link on her site. In fact, I'm grabbing that link right now, and I'm going to put it in the chat. But I think you have to be paid to even see this link.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure. I mean, try to click through, and hopefully you can see it. But you have to become a paid subscriber and then also sign up by 1 p.m. Eastern time today to get the Zoom invite. It is not on Substack; it's on Zoom for this class that starts at 3 p.m. And then it's 6 weeks every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I feel like it's going to be kind of earth-shatteringly amazing, and so I'm super excited about it.
Wow, I'm looking now. You can see it. I'm not yet a paid subscriber to Julie. Session 1, that's today, is from KGB playbooks to today's information war, how it started and how to stop it. Okay. This looks amazing, Lawrence.
Yeah, it's Julie mentioned it on her live with Olga yesterday, and I was like, "Oh my God, yes! Like, can I really afford another Substack subscription?" Yes, for Julie, I can, and to like get access to this class, absolutely. So,
Right. Wow. Well, I can't wait to hear more about it. I'm not sure I can make that one today in the middle of my workday here, West Coast, but I want to hear all about it. So that's
yeah,
awesome. Should we bring Melissa on?
absolutely, Melissa. Good morning, Biff Biff.
Good morning, Beth Beth.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to see me blush, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
It's working. All right, Melissa has been invited. I am excited for this. Melissa.
Melissa, welcome.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Excellent. How are you?
Great. Great.
All right, I
Yeah.
gotta know because I love my t-shirts. What does your shirt say today?
Well, what would I be if I didn't wear this one to the building itself?
What is
Nice. Oh my God, yes.
my
Excellent.
eyes are failing me. I can't quite read it. What does it say?
There we go. Close up on my boobs.
I see that. Crosses are the same. Oh, beautiful. I love the
Mm-hmm.
flowers
Yes,
across
yes.
the flowers across the bottom too.
It's right
Uh,
here.
t-
Right.
yeah, tell all the good people what you are doing today, Melissa, and maybe who you are. Though I think most people here today know who you are, but introduce
Yes.
yourself and what good trouble you're getting into today.
I am Melissa Corrigan with Counterstory Media, and I wanted to make a trip to DC for myself. I like that you guys were just talking about the information wars and disinformation wars. Um, Something that I have noticed, much to my chagrin, that the left can also be a bit sensationalist. Um, and so I wanted to go to DC for myself. I've been 3 times since the beginning of this regime because I do want to continue to see for myself what the environment's actually like on the ground. Um, and so last night we arrived yesterday. We hit up the Basquiat exhibit because, of course. And then we went out to dinner, and I intentionally chose to go to dinner in the U District. The U District is the district in DC that has been heavily targeted with police, ICE, and Fed activity. And going into this, when we were planning the trip, obviously we understood that the first 30-day occupation of the National Guard would conclude after 30 days. And our trip was scheduled to go right after that 30 days. So we felt pretty comfortable coming. And then, of course, it did get extended. So I was nervous. And I have seen a lot of videos portraying certain events. What is actually going on the ground here is perhaps a little more concerning than if there were a lot of aggressive military presence. I've been to DC dozens of times over my life and just live a few hours away. So we come here pretty often. And I have to say, this is the quietest and most serene I have ever seen this place.
I've
And so
never
that
seen it.
doesn't necessarily say to me a feeling of security. That says to me that people do not feel free to enjoy their nation's capital as they should. Right now, we're on the National Mall. There
I thought you were
is
on a hike or something, Melissa. I was
the
like,
monument.
where is she? Why is she not in the middle of the city? Because it was so
Oh,
green and peaceful behind you.
She is.
I am right on
That's
the National Mall.
crazy.
And it is unbelievably still and serene. We have literally gone out of our way to look for National Guard presence. And as of right now, we have only seen 4 inside Union Station standing there looking bored. Um, the only National Guard presence we've seen. We saw a couple of National Park Rangers doing a patrol of the National Mall, also looking very bored. So overall, the city is very, very quiet, very reserved, and I'm not entirely sure that's a great thing.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to interact with anybody, like, folks who live there who are saying like, holy shit, it's like our tourism's down or anything like that?
Yes. Yes, we talked to some people when we were out last night, and there definitely was that feedback that they're not seeing the tourism like they did. And also, it also depends on the demographics of the people I talk to. Obviously, we're staying in Capitol Hill. Obviously, upper class white people don't
Hmm.
feel as concerned. But as we moved into the U district, there's not only people willing to talk about the invasion of their city. But there's a lot more signage in the U District, as well as I popped into a bookstore and the community bulletin board was absolutely covered with resources, both in English and in Spanish, with local handmade newspapers telling news that is not making it into the Washington Post and other national news stories and local news. Um, and so I saw those little signs as well as by the register in more than one store. They are choosing to sell On Tyranny. It's right by the book, right by the cashier in multiple stores, as well as a book on Weiwei, which one of my favorite artists that was excommunicated from China. And so you see these little signs of resistance everywhere, lots of signage, lots of strategic placing of, books and resources for people that's not super overt. But the city itself is the quietest I've ever seen it in my life. In my
No,
life.
that is
So
freaking me out. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't been to DC a lot. I've been, a couple of times in my life, but like I've never seen it like that. And
Right. It doesn't even sound like a city.
yeah,
Like it's truly really bizarre, and Congress is in session, so there's that.
right. Congress is
Um,
in session, like the universities are back to school.
right.
Like it should actually be kind of bustling.
Yes. And it is extremely quiet. And I wanted to talk about what happened last night. We drove past the Capitol building at 5:30, and there was a cluster of activity, and we thought maybe they were getting out for the evening, but it turns out they were going back in. So here are some of the things that they voted on after dark last night.
oh,
And some of these things are what DC residents are most upset about, because this is taking over the autonomy of the district to rule itself. So HR 5140 is the bill that has been highly discussed, lowering the age of criminal prosecution to 14. And I am going to name names right now. So whoever's taking notes, there are 8 Democrats that voted for this. So I'm going to name them.
Yeah,
I'm going
those
to
are the
name
10.
them. From California 47, Dave Min. From Minnesota,
M-I-N-N.
2.
I am going to take notes,
No,
Melissa, because
it's MIN.
M-I-N, right? I'm sorry,
you
that's
got it.
Maine 2, Jared Golden. Nevada 3, Susie Lee. New York 4, Laura Gillen. North Carolina 1, Donald Davis. Texas 28, Harry Cuellar. Not sure how to do that.
Cuellar.
Cuellar. Virginia 7, Eugene Vindman. And Washington 3, Marie Glusenkamp Perez. So those are the 8 Democrats that voted to lower the age of criminal prosecution to 14. And that alone would have been enough. But at the 11th hour, a Republican entered HR 4922, the DC Crimes Act. Not only does that bring the age of the youth offender status down from 24 to 18, it in one fell swoop eliminates the resources and repeals consideration of those individuals 18 to 24 for facilities, treatment, and services. So if you mess up and you're between the ages of 24 and you happen to be homeless or happen to have a substance abuse problem, this government is now telling you they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit what you've gone through in life to get to this point. You are now going to be tried, prosecuted, and put in jail as an adult, and you are not going to be given any resources to help you get on your feet and get past that mistake you made.
Yeah, I
And
just
built
want
into that,
to
this is
hang on a
even
sec. I don't mean to interrupt, Melissa. I just want to point out that of that list, like some of those names kind of make sense to me, right? Like Marie Glusenkamp Perez and Jared Golden are from Trump-leaning districts.
right.
I mean, I don't approve of what they did, but I understand politically why they would. But there are names on this list like Henry Cuellar and Eugene Vindman that are like, it's fucking Eugene Vindman. His brother was the guy who testified as a whistleblower against the Trump administration about Ukraine. Like, why is that guy fucking up like this? It can't
Right.
be that the district is so much in play that he doesn't have cover. That's insane. Morgan is saying she's going to write. We should all write. Like, pick 1 or 2 of these people
Yes.
and write them and express your outrage. This is disgusting. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Let them know that we are watching. And further in HR 4922, this part is really disturbing to me. They're going to establish a website of updated statistics on juvenile crime for the DC area. Oh, okay. That's not terrible, except that they are ordering family court and law enforcement to turn over the records and the information held in juvenile records to the Attorney General. So this is minors information that has, by precedent, been protected.
right.
That is now going to be handed over to the Attorney General. So should you or your child make a mistake between the ages of 14 and 18, they're telling you that there are no room for mistakes and we're going to put you on a list. So this is extremely disturbing, extremely disturbing.
Yeah, why are they going after such young people? I know you don't know, you can't get inside all their heads, but in your opinion, Melissa, why all the emphasis on teens and young adults?
I mean, it's hard to not simply point to race. And I'm sure there's more complex factors that go into it. But the residents of DC are predominantly Black, and the statistics show that juveniles in DC have more law enforcement interactions. Now, when you break that down, do they have more law enforcement interactions because they're actually breaking the law, or because law enforcement is watching for them to break the law because they are children of color more than they would watch the kids from Capitol Hill? So I am not in their heads. I don't know, but it's really hard to feel. Number one, that race definitely plays a factor, and also there's this push to take dominion of DC. another bill that was introduced last night, that the locals are a lot of talk about this. HR 5125 amends the DC Home Rule Act to terminate the District of Columbia Judicial Nomination Commission. So DC is no longer going to be able to nominate their own judges.
Oh my
That's going to be
God.
under federal purview. Right.
Yeah,
So that's obvious why that's a problem.
yeah. Yeah, this is classic dictator playbook where
Right.
you occupy and control the capital city, right?
Correct.
Like, yeah, this is clearly they are moving in a direction towards full authoritarian control. And this is just one of the steps that they're taking. This is madness.
And I just found out this morning. So I don't know how to reverse the camera on here. Can I do that? I don't know if you can see down there by, I can't zoom in. That's what I can do. Down right under the base of the monument there is a large white tent. And I was unfamiliar with this until we came to DC back in April. And that is a church called David's Tent that is set up right under the base of it. And there's been an entity there that's a religious entity. It's non-denominational since about 2015. Now, when we walk through it, it doesn't have a non-denominational feel. It has a very evangelical Christian feel. And we were very eagerly told about an event that's coming up October 9th through the 12th, where they are going to fill this entire mall, end to end, Capitol to the Lincoln Memorial, with Christian tents and a long table. They want a table that runs the entire length to take communion in front of the Capitol.
So Catholics, right? I mean,
I find that
this is my Jewish, I don't get how Christianity completely works. Do other parts of Christianity take
I'm
communion?
glad you're asking, Lawrence.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
So I grew up Methodist. We take communion. Episcopalians, Lutherans, I believe. I'm not sure what others, but that it is a heavily Catholic-led festival that's happening here. But I looked back in history to see what the precedent is for having these strictly religious festivals right on the National Mall. Obviously, they don't just let anybody set up tents on the National Mall. So there were two in 1997, 1999. There were National Days of Prayer. And again in 2015, there was another large gathering of evangelical Christians here. It did not take up the entire mall. It took up a section. So you're talking about something that's not entirely precedented, and especially not at this size that they're talking about. There's going to be 50 separate tents set up end to end down the entire length of the National Mall. And aside from myself, I find that inappropriate in the center of our government. I imagine that it would send a message to anyone visiting or living here who does not fall under that faith. That would not be an entirely welcoming message.
I'm going to ask you a very loaded question that I kind of know how you can respond. What do you think will happen, Melissa, if Christianity becomes the official religion of the United States? What do you think this country's going to be like if we go down that road?
It's really hard to piece that out over a nation of this size. And you're talking about enforceability, and something that not a lot of people are talking about, because if you didn't come from inside a highly Christian environment, particularly an evangelical background or a Catholic background or anything, you don't understand that there are so many differences in the theologies between all of these groups. So a problem that I see occurring is right now you have a massive dark funded Catholic movement and you have a massive dark funded Christian evangelical movement. Those two groups have very different theologies. So when you talk about implementing and James Tallarico addressed this, in his congressional hearing when he asked, well, if you want to teach Bible and you open up the Bible and you read a passage, how do you know that the teacher that's teaching that class, let's say your fourth grade kid, how do you know that their theology, their interpretation of that biblical scripture aligns with yours? Because if that teacher is Catholic and you're Presbyterian, you're going to be up there asking for a parent-teacher conference because her interpretation of the scripture is going to differ from yours. So this is a massive problem that I see happening, which is going to be good for us, everyone else, because the infighting, and some of this infighting has already begun. This infighting has the potential over theology to crumble this movement from the inside, because one of these factions is going to have to take control, take the lead, and the rest of them are not going to like it. And they're going to consider it a holy war as much as they consider what they're doing to the rest of us a holy war. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm most interested to see how this plays out, is not necessarily how they're going to enforce it on the rest of us, which I think they're going to have a very difficult time doing. Americans just don't tend to lie down. But what I see, what I anticipate happening is a crumbling from within of this movement, this Christian movement, because somebody's theology has to take the lead.
You mean Protestants and Catholics don't get along? I mean, when in history
Imagine,
have they ever argued over anything?
imagine that, right? Right.
Oh, the 30 Years
And
War,
to that end,
Ireland, 1,000 other places, no big whoop.
right. And to that end, as I was walking over from Union Station to the Capitol building this morning, we came across a huddle of about 25 clergy behind the Capitol building, and they were saying a prayer together, and they turned around. So my son and I kind of looked at each other like, what is that? And then they broke their huddle and they turned around, and we saw trans-colored stoles over robes. We saw rainbow stoles over robes. So we were very excited. We went and talked to them, and they are a group of Lutheran pastors from around the nation that have come to speak today to Congress. So, of the religious groups, I hate to, I don't want to be that person that just bashes all religion unilaterally. Um, so it was very heartening to see a group of Lutheran pastors, largely, well, about half female, there to speak on behalf of God-fearing, Jesus-following Christians and talk a little bit of sense into these
Yeah,
lawmakers.
yeah. I just want a programming note. Dana has obviously frozen, fortunately, in a very flattering, still. So that's good. But she's here in the chat. So, but she can't drop and come back because she started the live. And so if she goes, we all go with her. So Melissa, you and I are carrying it for the next 28 minutes, it seems like.
Oh man, we'll have to watch the chat in case she.
She
Yeah.
is in the chat. Yeah, definitely. We'll keep an eye on the chat. So you've recently written something really, really powerful that I know you've been sharing on Substack, and I want people to go take a look at it. Can you tell us about the new papers and what you're trying to accomplish? I'm going to jump over to your while you're talking. I'm going to jump over to your Substack and grab the link so that I can share it with people.
Okay.
But yeah, tell us about the new papers.
So I began the new papers inspired by Thomas Paine and his ilk, and also heavily Alexander Hamilton with the Federalist Papers. But I wanted to write a one-page pamphlet that I could drop in public places and address some of the constitutional issues that are happening. So it's not related to any media outlet. I don't have to pitch it or send it in, and also it being on paper, uh, it's a little more tangible to people. It's something they can hold on to and reread. And it also flies under the radar a little bit of, internet monitoring systems. So I've written several editions. I have it distributed in several cities across the nation. I have it in Portland, Dallas, Asheville, North Carolina, Chicago, um, and a few other cities I'm not thinking of right off the top of my head. So all I do is send the PDF to them. They print it
I'm
out
frozen.
and distribute it to coffee shops and libraries in their area.
Hey, Dana, we can actually hear you now, which is a good sign.
Oh, you can? You heard
Yeah,
me
we
Oh,
talking to
yeah.
my daughter?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry
Only
about
just
that.
like, "Hey, sweetie, I'm frozen," is what we heard. So
Yeah,
we can
that's what
hear
I
you,
said.
but yeah,
Oh,
um,
that's amazing. So I can
yeah,
talk.
you can.
Yes.
Hang on, Melissa, I'm on Counter Story Media. Where did you publish the new papers?
Well, I just published a note with the graphics
Okay,
because I was a little hesitant to put the whole text online until after this trip.
got it.
So I am going to be putting the full text up, and that's going to be coming out as a full post later today. Um,
Okay,
so
We'll restack it once it's up.
yes. So I've published quite a few, printed quite a few, and they're just this size. And this is a great size to, say, stick in the paper towel dispenser of a nice restaurant in DC.
you're back,
So I
Dana.
like to drop these.
I'm back.
Oh, there she is. So I do like
It-
to drop these anywhere and everywhere. That's a little unexpected. I do go by the coffee shops and bookstores, and they are more than welcome. But I do desperately this most recent one I wrote, I feel is my most important one, and I wanted it to be a bipartisan message, and I wanted it to be something that could inspire and that could make people think and call to their humanity. I fear in the past couple of months, a lot of us have lost touch with our humanity a little bit, as evidenced by some of the response to Charlie Kirk's murder on live everything. So I wanted to write a piece where anyone could pick it up and it wouldn't be, a paragraph into it. They would say, oh, this is a leftist rag, throw it away. I wanted it to be bipartisan. I wanted it to appeal to humanity and to the American patriotism that we all are allowed to possess. You don't have to be MAGA to be patriotic. I'm going live with Banner and Backbone at 12:30 here from the Veterans Rally tent in front of Union Station. And that's something that Banner and Backbone is really pressing, that, the Republican Party, conservatives do not have the lock on patriotism. And
Right.
that's insulting to even begin that insinuation. So when I wrote this particular pamphlet, that's what I was aiming to do, was a bipartisan message that appealed to humanity and to true patriotic values of liberty, empathy, and courage.
Amazing. Late breaking programming note for you, Melissa. Nick may not be hosting that 12:30. It might be me or Frederick instead.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, hey, I just want to address something in the chat. People are kind of asking about, like, can we keep this nonviolent? And I really want to emphasize the point that nonviolence is the way that wins. We have literal data. We have proof in
Right.
research and in history that every nonviolent resistance movement that has at least 3.5% of the overall population on its side, that stays nonviolent, wins every time.
Yes.
It's when things become violent that the regime in charge decides to escalate and push back with more violence and lockdowns. So we cannot become violent. We must stop people from becoming violent at any protest, because that is what Trump wants. That is what the regime
Exactly.
wants.
Especially with this particular leader. This man is a reality television mogul.
Right.
He wants to make this his own personal reality television show. He wants to incite violence. He wants to provoke a big response in the ways that he was able to provoke big responses in his reality television programming. And so the thing that we all need to keep in mind is that we are not paid actors in Donald Trump's reality TV special.
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
not. We do not owe him a reaction when he is clearly trying to instigate. And that was something in all the materials that I saw around DC on these community boards and all the resources. Someone has printed a 10 ways, 10 ways to resist. And number 10 is always remain nonviolent, remain nonviolent. We are nonviolent. DC is nonviolent. So that is the message that's coming from the locals, from the grassroots organizations here, is maintain your dignity, go about your life, and remain nonviolent, and make them quite obviously the aggressors.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And Morgan raised a great point, which is the civil rights movement like insisted on and taught nonviolence and like literally taught classes to people. They as they grew the movement, they brought people into kind of workshops where they learned that the key point was that you must be nonviolent, that you have to learn how to not react and like flop and drop. And if they drag you away and you go to jail for a nonviolent protest, no problem. Like
Right.
that's okay. It will be a badge of honor in the future to do that. But if you get violent and you get killed by the regime pushing back, or you get your eyes shot out, which well, I don't know if people remember this from just a couple years ago in the Black Lives Matter movement, where protesters were shot in the face with rubber bullets and it
Yes.
exploded people's eyeballs. Like,
Right.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That happened in Seattle. There was a woman who lost one of her eyes. Yeah.
You know, we must remember to remain nonviolent. They will absolutely do things that will be enraging and that will be obviously provocative to try to get violence out of people, and we can't take the bait.
There was
100%.
a resource. I'm going to have to go find it. It's a CIA handbook for civilians. That was published in the 40s, I believe. And it was essentially how an average civilian that doesn't have a lot of involvement in politics or anything like that can obfuscate um, federal involvement. And the number one way, which I found hilarious and also extremely smart, is to act stupid or crazy or both. So let's say
Mhm.
there were National Guard teaming all over here, which there's not. And they come up and they want to see it. And I act like a silly tourist. And I say, oh, I'm trying to find the Smithsonian, and I can't find, my daughter said to go to the Smithsonian and they have an exhibit by that man. Do you know that man and all you're doing is making them think you're a bumbling idiot, and they'll say, oh God, go away, go away. So that is honestly, I found that to be incredibly smart, a smart way, because most of these National Guardsmen, even most of the police and everything, they don't really want to be doing this at all. And
Right.
so if they approach you and you act confused or silly, then you can they'll leave you alone. They'll just walk away because they're like, oh God, this person's it's just a tourist from
Right.
wherever. Leave him alone.
With a very incendiary T-shirt, but just a tourist.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
just
my
a
daughter
tourist.
got this for me.
Right.
Right.
I
Right.
love
This
the
is a
flowers.
band that she likes. Do you know this band? I heard it was lyrics or
Yeah.
something.
Oh my.
I love the flowers on the bottom. I just thought it was pretty flowers.
Yeah, it's
Right.
so
So
pretty.
something that I think is super important is that, and I felt. So I think a lot of you remember when I posted back in Portsmouth at my favorite coffee shop, when one of these yahoos comes in, geared up to the teeth with zip ties. I mean, he was clearly with ICE, even though he didn't have any markings on his uniform. And I kind of felt like a coward, I kind of felt like a coward in that moment because I wanted to stand up and be like, fuck you, fascist. But instead, what I did behind his back with my little middle-aged white lady invisibility was report him on Ice Block.
Nice.
So what's important is that not everybody needs to be the out loud, fists in the air, marching on the street type of revolutionaries. In fact, those are going to be the minority, the extreme minority. What the rest of us can do that is productive is behind the scenes, behind closed doors, in those face-to-face meetings, in coffee shops, in bookstores, wherever it is your local community organizations are meeting, or online to the degree it's safe to write, to educate your fellow Americans. None of this requires being out in the street marching, and yet it is incredibly impactful, particularly the more people we have doing it, the more people we have talking, educating, writing, and working face to face in these community organizations behind closed doors. Educate your community members. Start that anti-fascist book club. Read On Tyranny with your neighbors and start developing networks of face-to-face resistance, because we have the people that are going to march in the street and I love them and there's a place for that. They're in their 20s, I'm too old for that.
I'm
And a lot of
smashing
us
all the
just can't
hearts
risk.
here, Melissa.
Yeah, a lot of us just can't risk getting arrested, and it will derail us from the mission that we're working on to go to jail. So you have to find your place in this movement, and it is not all going to be visible. In fact, the mass bulk of the work of resistance is done behind closed doors.
Right. I love it. Speaking of all this, Melissa, I was hoping you could share with our audience, what is Constitution Day and what's going on? Like, what brought you to DC in the first place? It's certainly not for this empty green lawn for a croquet
No.
match or something.
No, what brought us here, my son wanted to go see one of his favorite artists in concert, and it was between here and New York. And we made this decision back in June before the occupation. And I was like, oh, DC's closer. Let's just go to DC. And then this happened. So I was like, well, okay. And then I looked at the dates we were going to be going. And today is Constitution Day. And there's absolutely nothing going on in DC for Constitution Day, including observing the Constitution, like there. So it's
Right.
been extremely disappointing to see that there's been no mention at all in our nation's capital that today is Constitution Day. Nothing special going on.
Is there usually something special going on Constitution Day? I don't have a great awareness of what happens in DC.
I have been here before on Constitution Day, and the Smithsonian had events and things set up.
Okay.
And as what we've seen, the Smithsonian has nothing.
Yeah, I absolutely I know that in the past there's always been some kind of programming. Maybe it was low key, but like at
Right.
least at the viewing of the Constitution, like at the exhibit itself, there's something that is usually going on.
Right.
So it's crazy that there's nothing. And it's because they're anti-constitutional, right? Like
Right.
these are
Exactly.
anti-constitutionalists. They
We
don't want to
certainly do not want
celebrate.
to celebrate the Constitution while we are tearing it to shreds.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And the people who are the protectors, the Smithsonian workers and like the worker bees who are now living in this silent, eerie city that was once vibrant, are probably not raising their hands to be like, hey, let's put on a symphony in front
Right.
of the building to draw people here and draw attention to the Constitution. They're like, well, let's skip it this year.
Right.
But there is a veteran event you're there for, correct?
Well, there's not an event today, but there's a standing 24/7 veteran sit-in directly in front of Union Station. And I'm very proud the way they've been able to navigate pressure from the National Guard, which they resisted, and then pressure from ICE, which they resisted. So they are still there. The tent is still there. I went by and talked to them earlier. So there is a 24/7 veteran presence there for anyone coming out of Union Station that is a veteran or is interested. You can sign up to participate. You can sign up for future events, and they are just educating. Anyone who comes out of those doors runs into that tent first thing. And my son got some great pictures. There's some great hand painted imagery along the sides of the tent, some of it not super friendly for work, shall we say?
This isn't work, luckily. So if you want to share it, we're not
Right.
here.
So I mean, it's just really good, a really good visual when you walk out that there is someone resisting this. And for as much as we've walked around this area, that tent is actually the only standing anything that we've seen that's any type of resistance.
Wow. So this is kind of tangential, but going back to the Constitution conversation, right? There's a great new book that just came out by Harvard professor Jill Lepore. It's called We the People. I have just started reading it. It literally came out yesterday. And it is about how the Constitution is meant to be amended. Like literally the entire thesis of
Right.
the book is that the Constitution is supposed to be amended. They wanted to create a framework that allowed for amendment that made it hard but not too hard. And her thesis in the book is that they accidentally over-indexed on difficulty because it is actually too hard to
Right.
amend the Constitution. And it's a process that often happens in times of crisis like this because what has happened throughout the course of our history is that the way the courts interpret the Constitution and what the people actually want gets out of sync. And at
Right.
times of maximum out of syncness, that's when the amendment process needs to kick in. And we're living in one of those moments right now. And so, Melissa, you know this through Banner and
Right.
Backbone. We've published some articles on how we believe the Constitution does need to be amended. And it
Absolutely.
actually is not futile. It is not wasted effort, that it could be an organizing principle around which we activate people in every state in the country.
Right. And a lot of people aren't aware that Thomas Jefferson believed that we should hold a constitutional council every 22 years. Was his belief that every generation should write their own constitution to govern their own nation. And it was one of the issues that he fought the most with the other founding fathers, that he really believed that we needed to have generational constitutions for this country. And unfortunately, obviously, he lost that argument. But looking back, Thomas Jefferson's an incredibly, obviously, unsavory
Problematic.
character in
Yeah,
many ways.
controversial.
Right. In many ways. But when you look at his political prowess, as well as scientific and otherwise, he was truly a genius. And he was one of the only the founding fathers that saw something like this unfolding, constitutional crisis, and the Constitution would be woefully out of date and inept for handling any type of future problems in a world that looks so drastically different than the one that they lived in.
Right. Right. I mean, the founders kind of did the best they could for the time. And if you read the story of the writing of the Constitution and the, it's sort of a miracle that they came out of that convention in Philadelphia with anything. They almost didn't. And, they didn't take into account demographic expansion and westward expansion, like the geographic and population expansion of the states is nothing they could have conceived of when they were writing it. In addition to the issues that, computers and the internet and assault weapons and like you name it, right? Like there are dozens and dozens of modern issues that they couldn't build into the Constitution because they weren't psychics. They couldn't predict the future. So
Uh, I'm
go
not
ahead.
sure what's happening here. Some people are unveiling a golden statue.
Ooh,
Of Trump.
I don't
false
know.
god.
It's hard to, and I can't zoom in, and I don't want to get super close, but it is a golden statue.
Is it the golden calf?
This is the false
It's
god right there.
it is of a person, of a man, and he's holding from this distance what appears to be a golden frisbee. I'm not sure. And again, when stuff like this happens, because nobody associated with what's happening right now is in uniform or in an official vehicle, and so I'm wondering if this isn't some form of protest, actually.
Yeah. I'm hoping protest. I'm hoping it's a golden Donald Trump, and they're going to make a big deal about worshiping false gods.
Right. I am curious to see what he has in his hands. It does appear to be Trump. It is a golden statue of Trump.
You never know
And
if
he's
it's a
extending.
protest or if it's literal.
Breaking
Right?
news right here. Melissa Corrigan, live from DC.
Oh my.
So I'm trying to see what he's holding in his hand. Oh God, it's Trump. Look at that hair. Yeah. Wow. Oh, he's holding a coin, a Bitcoin, like a crypto coin.
Okay.
That's what it
Yeah,
is.
that makes sense.
And this is gonna go directly there.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Oh, wow. That's great. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer. I don't want to bother these guys setting it up.
Cowboy
Can you
says,
see?
rub the golden belly for good luck. I'm not sure Donald Trump gives good luck. I think, everything he touches
That's
turns to shit.
phenomenal.
Maybe
Oh
don't
my
touch
God.
it. Don't touch it, it's evil.
Killboy is putting funny stuff in the chat. He's British and he said there seems to be there's an orange skinned person here who appears to be yours. Can you please get him out of here?
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
You
paraphrasing,
guys
but
can
his
hold
quote,
on to him for a while, Cowboy. We don't
yeah.
really need him.
Morgan X suggested that Killboy throw him into the Thames, and he said we don't want to pollute it.
oh, this is
Fair.
excellent.
Wow. So we're certain this is a protest, not a
Yes.
It's got to be a protest.
it's gotta be.
Absolutely. It is very comical. And he's got his stupid grin on his face. The grin he does.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
going up. They're going up.
Whoa. So if it is a protest, then you should, tell them that they're live on Substack. We're all watching them
Huh?
erect their golden statue. I love it.
There's a plaque on the front. Let's get a look at that, what the plaque says. Donald J. Trump Golden Statue is tribute to President 45 and 47, the Bitcoin president.
Are you sure that this is ironic or
Yeah, it is. I think yes.
The fact that we have to question it, guys.
I
Right.
know.
Where are we at?
Yeah, seriously.
His supporters are not exactly subtle.
Right. Yeah, Robin is pointing out they're having a hard time getting Trump up. Yeah, just like
All
the
right, and
actual
there
Trump.
is
He's
there-
having erectile problems.
Okay,
Oh
look,
my God.
there is what appears to be. Would you say that's an Instagram tag name, right? Yeah. At DJTGST. I mean, it's an app for sure.
So that's the Trump coin, right?
Wow. You guys saw it here. You saw it
Yeah.
happen. Look at
We
that.
literally saw
This
it
is what you
first.
get when you tune in to the Daily Whatever.
Right? Thank you, Melissa.
Melissa, our roving correspondent in Washington, D.C. That was amazing, Melissa. Thank you.
That's phenomenal.
I feel like it's not a protest. I feel like
Like,
it's not funny enough.
It
Yeah,
is a protest.
I think
Absolutely.
the guys that were unloading it have huge grins on their faces. Like, yeah, they're full of themselves right now. They're feeling it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a golden statue of Trump. Could it be more worshiping false idol, golden calf kind of thing? It's absolutely got to
Yeah.
be that.
What was
Right.
the Instagram handle on there? I want to go look it up, Melissa.
All right.
It
Let me
was DJT something, right?
right. DJT GST.
GST. And is
Right.
that a hashtag so that it's like a social media thing?
It's an at.
Okay.
So like a handle.
I'm almost certain it's
Yeah.
a hand.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not almost certain. That's a hand.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hold
All right. I
on.
found them on X.
So are they supporters or
Oh,
are
I
they
found
anti?
it.
Oh,
You
they've
guys,
got a
it's
website.
literal. It is Liberty University.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is for real, for real.
Oh my God, I'm
Yes.
putting it in
Or
the
is it-
chat, you guys. It's
Several Liberty
significantly propelled the mainstream adoption of crypto. I almost said Crisco.
It says, please share and say thank you to President Donald Trump. Yeah, this is
Oh
literal.
no, it's for real.
Oh my
Tribute on
God.
President Trump on its way. I'd like to point out
Okay, you
its
guys saw
way.
it here first that a Bible college is putting up an actual golden icon,
Oh,
a golden calf of their dear leader right here on the National Mall, right in front of our national capitol. And apparently they are serious. This is a serious glorification of our president from people whose actual scripture says
should
not to
worship
have
false
other gods before me, and literally talks about a golden calf. This is a golden statue erected by a Bible college here in the United States.
Oh my God. Okay,
Unreal.
and the organization, what part of the organization that's behind this is called Pump Fun, which to me sounds like a gay porn website, so I was all excited. but it's actually one of those websites that is all about like insider trading on crypto. Like it's all Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Panda coin bullshit.
Yeah,
my
so
God.
forget the emoluments clause, forget everything that keeps our president from profiting off of the office of the presidency. I mean, this is literally infuriating. This man is getting rich from the position of the presidency.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I
It
heard
look
something
I can
yesterday that
yeah.
his net worth has gone up $2 billion
Right.
because of his coin investments, because of his, cryptocurrency bullshit. And
Oh my
so
God.
this is fucking insane.
I'd like to point out, though, it is a very small part of my indignation that if you go to the Instagram reel, it's rotating through images and it all says tribute to President Trump is on its the way to the nation's Capitol building. So it's a typo, and they're also using the wrong it's. There's an apostrophe. So
Yeah.
way to educate
Oh, no.
Liberty University. And it says the same thing on every screen with both typos. So hey, Snooze, which is the handle. Yeah, they have raised the funds themselves to have this golden statue built. It will be delivered to the nation's capital on September 17th. It commemorates celebrating his influential legacy. Can I just call it like irony is fucking dead?
Right.
Right.
Irony is
Irony is dead.
absolutely dead.
Yeah, and can we
Blasphemy
talk
is
about that?
alive.
They, Liberty University chose not to celebrate Constitution Day. They chose to erect a golden calf directly in front of our nation's capital.
Yeah. Morgan is saying in the chat, this is they do
This-
nothing but stomp on
This
their
is
own dick.
real.
This is a huge dick stomp
My
on
son's
themselves.
losing his mind. My son's like, "Is this real? Oh my God!" He thought it was
I
satire.
knew this could not be.
Melissa, you've
couldn't be
gotta write a quick
protest.
article. I know you're in DC and you're busy.
Oh,
with your
absolutely.
but please write and we will restack it and
Yes.
rebroadcast it far and wide. Because
Yep.
as far as I'm concerned, you're breaking this news. Like at
Right.
this moment,
This
who
is
else
insane.
knows this?
In fact, Melissa, if you want to go right there, like right in front of it, and put your face on camera a little and just summarize it, we'll grab the clip and go post it as soon as we have it. So if you want
Right.
to take a crack at that right now at the end, like give us the
All right.
news. Melissa Corrigan, live from DC. Go.
Yes, I just witnessed the unveiling of this golden statue, apparently placed here by Liberty University, which is a Christian private school. And they are honoring their golden calf here, holding a Bitcoin and thanking him for getting rich off of the American public by profiting, him and his family both, through the Bitcoin and using the office of the presidency for his own gain.
Irony is dead,
Wow.
Melissa.
Irony is dead.
Blasphemy is alive. And I say this as an agnostic Jew. Like, that's so sacrilegious.
It is.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
I don't
Wow.
often find myself speechless. This is, you can't beat
Yeah.
the monument in the background.
Yeah.
This.
There you go. Washington Monument and the golden calf. Donald Trump
How far
holding
we've
fucking
come, right?
Bitcoin made him billions of dollars. Him and his family rich. Emoluments clause be damned.
And my son just added, he's right. If you are a tourist here in DC and you'd like to get that iconic shot from the Capitol to the monument, this is what you're getting now. You're getting a big fat gold guy.
Ugh.
That's what you're getting.
Oh my God. I'm sick. Like that's sickening.
Wow.
Yeah.
Despicable. I'm running out of adjectives. But
Yeah.
Seriously.
And I feel like we're
Unreal.
gonna have to end on outrage today because we're at
They
the
are.
top of the hour. And Melissa, we want to respect your time and let you get back to hanging out with your family in the beautiful nation, our beautiful nation's capital, which is
Beautiful nation's
completely and utterly empty except for a brand new golden
Right.
statue of Trump.
Right.
oh my God. Will you get a few photos? Like really like
Absolutely.
Nice.
play the dumb tourist like you were talking about, I'm just dumb that you do
Right.
to
Yeah.
like de-escalate.
Oh, I'm so
standing in front
excited.
of the statue with the monument behind you because
I think it's a bit late for that. The guys who unveiled it were right next to me when I was screaming about a golden calf. So
Yeah.
I think it's a bit past that.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
All
Well,
right.
eventually they're
Melissa,
gonna have to
thank you
leave it, right?
so much for joining us today. It was absolutely awesome talking to
Yes.
you as always. And yeah, and you broke some news, so that's incredible.
Look at that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Thanks to everyone who joined us in the chat as well. Go enjoy your Wednesday in this
Right.
All right.
godforsaken place we live in.
Yeah,
now.
make sure you
Oh my
subscribe to
God, that
Counter
golden
Story
statue
Media.
is literally eagle jizz. It is
That is-
literally the definition of eagle jizz.
Hashtag.
Oh my God. By the way, eaglejizz.com is live. We're selling swag on eaglejizz.com. All right, everybody. There you go.
We love
All
you.
right.
We
Melissa,
mean
thank you
it.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, Melissa.
Love you, everybody. Love you. Mean it.
Bye.
Bye. Mwah.